Salam alaikum. Bayern 2 and Real Madrid 1, and honestly, that was a horrific game. Now, before I get into this video, before I get into the breakdown and talk about ball possession, Vinny missing chances, and talk about Mbappe not playing at his position, I do want to introduce somebody. So, as you can see, I do have a seat here, and it's empty, and there's an extra microphone right over here. Somebody is supposed to be here, and that person is standing to my left. But before I do bring him on, I just want to give him a little intro. This person is a very special person, very well respected in the football community from all the social media posts that he does, from all the journalists, all the players that he met, the icons that he interviewed. This man is really well respected, and I'm very glad that he gave me the opportunity to have him in this video. But without further ado, let's welcome him in. Welcome, Shaib. Thank you very much for coming in.
Thank you for having me. How are you?
I'm good. How about you?
I could have been better,
Yeah, so I'll just bring the mic a little closer to you. So, just a little FYI, right? I'm a Real Madrid fan, and as you guys can tell, he's also a Real Madrid fan. For those of you who don't know him, like I said, he's very well respected. His name is Shaib, and he's going to give us his, perspective on this game. We were hoping that this was going to be a win, right? We wanted this to be a win. That one goal gave us hope. We were celebrating. He was watching it with me. But there's a lot of wrongs than right in this game. Would you agree?
Yeah, definitely.
I got to see the bad side of him when he's very angry. It was very funny to say the least. All right, but let's get into the match. So we did take notes. I was taking whatever he was telling me to take. I was taking my own notes. But the first thing that let's just talk about this, right? So let's talk about the lineup really quick. So what do you say about the lineup? So it says 4-4-2, but in the beginning it was a 4-3-3. He had Arda Güler on the right. But, you could tell, though, they were playing like this, right? They were playing with the 4-4-2, where Vinny and Mbappe were playing at the forward, right? And honestly, even though I am a fan of this formation, or this is the only formation that we can play. Who else were we going to play?
Yeah.
Besides, we were questioning why Bellingham didn't start, right?
Yep.
In my opinion, and you could disagree if you want, but I do think that this kid that we have recently, Pitarch, he is good for his age. He's only 18 years old, so there's a lot of room for him to grow. But at the same time, I do think Bellingham should have started, unless there's a risk that which is the reason why Arbeloa didn't want to start him. But the only reason we got our first goal was because of
Bellingham,
right?
The assist.
Yeah. So would you say that if you were Arbeloa, let's say, would you have started Bellingham, or would you have changed anything in this lineup, or would you have just kept it the same?
100%, I would have started Bellingham. I don't know about the two-striker formation, to be honest, either.
So where would you play Vinny then?
I would have played Vinny at left wing.
And Mbappe by himself as a striker?
Yeah.
Honestly, I am a fan of how they lined up.
Exactly.
How Bayern lined up, right?
Bayern has a striker all the way up and has everyone still back for that back support. Hence why they don't concede as much goals.
But did you not notice how when Bayern were attacking us, right? Did you see how many players they had attacking us? Compared to when we attacked them, you kept screaming out, somebody make a run, somebody make a run.
Exactly.
Bro, nobody was making runs in our team. Nobody was making runs. Like I said, I've been saying this, right? It's your first time seeing Shaib here. Maybe you guys seen him in other clips. But we never see our players make runs. We usually see our players wait for either Vinícius, Mbappe, or Valverde to create some magic.
Yeah.
We never see them actually making or playing as a team. I'd say the best way to describe it, they never play as a team. And you said something that low-key it stuck with me. He said that it's like they don't want to play with one another.
Exactly.
So did you want to mention that, low-key?
Yeah, you see them play. Vinny, I don't know what he's doing half of the time. His passing, I'll be honest, could have been better.
Right.
Even though he was passing, I like the fact that he was trying to be a team player. But in the back, everyone was just clearing the ball. No one wanted to pass. No one wanted to make it a passing game. No one was trying to push forward to make the game go forward towards Bayern. Everyone was either trying to go alone or just sending it.
No, yeah, 100%. And also, you know what I hate the most as well is the fact that for example, when Trent has the ball, right? He did have an assist. It was Trent that gave the assist to Mbappe? Wasn't it Bellingham? I thought it was Bellingham though.
Same.
Did they get this mistake? It was Jude, no?
I could double check it, but I think it was.
Double check it. Yeah, I thought it was Jude that that got the assist for Mbappe, but whether it was Trent or whether or not, my point is that we would just, especially when Trent had the ball or Carreras in the fullback, they were just booting the ball. That's something that we did put down, that they were just booting the ball. Either our fullbacks or even the midfield, they would just boot the ball where they either wanted it to go to Mbappe or Vinícius. And most of the time, the defenders did do good Ta
Yeah.
and Upamecano. I think that's how you say it. Upamecano, right? Yeah, so they both did good. He did a very good job locking down Vinícius. Did you double check or not yet?
I'm checking. It's still loading.
All right. Olise, he did deserve man.
He
of the
did his
match.
job. He did his job. You can't even argue it.
He even though he only got an assist, he was the reason why I feel like they won. Why they even progressed the ball a lot. They were like attacking us nonstop. I mean, let's look at the possession because we were talking about. This is a lie. I mean, 48-52.
Yeah.
It did not feel like, honestly. And look, it says we did have the momentum here and there though. And throughout the match, we had the momentum, but overall, I mean, you could see all the red over here, and I think that is true. That Bayern were they were honestly dominating us. We really had no answers for them.
Yeah.
There was no answers. There was no counters as well. We had that. Oh my God, let's talk about. I was in the when was it in the second half? What I wrote.
What?
Vinícius finish.
Oh my God, that Vinícius. Oh my. He had Neuer out where he could have easily stepped back. Vinny is known for that.
Yeah, where he
Step back.
does he never does the Ronaldo chop. You know when you chop the leg. And
No, he does the step back and then shoot it. No, he decided to take the most
Like he decided to just drag it out. But
horrendous shot.
The thing is that Neuer read it so well.
Exactly.
Like Neuer just like chased him. He knew he was gonna do that.
He cut off his left side and he couldn't shoot from there.
But the worst part is, it wasn't even a save. It was a total miss.
I know. It wasn't even a corner.
Yeah, it was. Yeah, I thought it was a corner. He was like, no. Neuer did not touch it. But that's something that we have to finish, though, because if Vinny even finished that, we were going to be 2-0, and we were going to head to Bayern's home ground with at least like being a draw. It's like a 0-0 where we have an opportunity to score or maybe drag it out to penalty shootouts.
Exactly.
But now they have a goal advantage. We're going to go to their home ground, and what makes us think that we're going to play even close to or even better than how they played or how we played here?
I mean, we underperformed in our own home ground. We did I'm sorry, but a horrible
I mean, there's nothing
today.
to apologize for. This whole season has been like a mess. Like,
yeah.
I don't know about you, and you could disagree with me, but every time I watch Real Madrid games, there hasn't been a game where I've been confident that we won. The last time I remember being confident was when we had Xabi Alonso.
I mean,
Before, like not towards the end of when he got fired or when he left, but a little before where we beat Barcelona under Xabi Alonso, and then we were like, the only teams we lost against was like Atletico Madrid, that 5-2. He learned from it. We beat Barcelona, and we kept winning. And he only had 5 losses, I think, within like 28 matches. And Arbeloa already has 6 losses.
within 18 matches.
Something like that. Yeah,
No,
18.
19, I think.
Whatever. It's still less than Xabi Alonso. And that's the thing. I was telling him earlier, and you could disagree with me. I want to see Real Madrid win. I want to see them lift the UCL. I want to see them even lift La Liga, but I don't even know if they're going to do that. But the thing is that, in my opinion, if Perez and if Real Madrid fans sees us winning, if they see us winning trophies, and we, like us as fans who love the game and like see how they play where we only wait for magic, I think that's just going to show Perez, okay, we have no problem. So let's just keep him. Like when the 23-24 season, we won 3 trophies. So they kept Carlo Ancelotti and everything. But everybody has been saying that the way Real Madrid plays is not at that level where it's like dominance, right? Like we play at the level where like we're doing these magical moments, but it's not enough where it's putting fear in the other European teams.
Exactly.
So like we have a Bayern fan. He was not afraid at all going up against us. And people are usually should be afraid of Real Madrid, especially in the UCL. But they're only afraid of one thing, and that's magical moments. If we somehow get this magical moment. Like, for example, all it took is Trent, that one pass to Mbappe for them to score. They didn't have to do like, you know, a team play like Bayern for them to get their goals.
Yeah.
Right? Did you want to add on?
Yeah, I mean, look at the dominance. Why is everyone scared of Bayern? They just finished beating their last team 7-0.
Oh, and wait, that was that last game?
No, Bayern's first leg in the UCL, right?
I think so. Let's check. No, it was
4-1, sorry.
4-0.
4-0, 4-0, and 4-1. I mean, that's the type of dominance that Madrid needs to have if they want to put fear in their opponents. Because realistically, we're barely winning every game. Man City, we beat them by 1 goal. And then I'm talking about the first leg. Second leg, we barely... I mean, we're just, as a team, we're barely scraping our wins.
No, I mean, you could see it. We just lost against Mallorca.
Exactly.
Right, last weekend. Against almighty Mallorca, who's facing relegation, and we lost against them. So that already put down my hopes. I don't know about you going into this one. I mean, we beat Atletico Madrid, but this was before the break. Something happened. The momentum changed after the international break, but clearly not for Bayern. You know, the weekend they struggled. They were down 2-0 Bayern We're down 2-0
Yep.
against a team that I haven't even heard of in the German league.
Mm-hmm.
And then they came back and won 3-2. So that gave the Bayern fans hope. But to us, Real Madrid fans, as soon as we scored 1 goal against Mallorca, we conceded literally like 2 minutes later.
Yeah.
And now against Bayern, they scored the first goal. And then did you see the way how fast they scored the second goal?
Yeah.
As soon as the second half started, they scored within what was it, like 30 seconds?
A minute and a half.
A minute, whatever it was. But they just pressed right away. I mean, we could check it. I kind of forgot. No, within a minute, 46 minutes.
Yeah, within a minute.
Yeah.
I mean, even towards the end, they kept the momentum from the last half. Luis Diaz just kept it, came back, got another goal just like that.
Yeah, I know.
They did not just.
What is the problem, bro? I know what the problem is. I've been saying it and I'm sticking with it. I said that the problem is that these players that we have too much power.
100%.
And now I'm not going with the meme about
Yeah,
Mbappe with the dictatorship, but ever since I seen players not respecting Xabi Alonso, and then I seen Perez taking side or sticking with the players, I knew that that's what Real Madrid is all about. And the thing is that they try to compare Real Madrid, and I spoke about this, they try to compare this Real Madrid, whatever they're going on right now, or whatever they're doing, to the Real Madrid with Ronaldo, Bale, Modric, Cruz, who else, Benzema. They're trying to compare those because they're saying that team had ego. But that team gave us results.
Exactly.
You know, that team, like everybody was scared to go up against them. And you mentioned you want Zidane back at Real Madrid to control them, right? They had Zidane as well, who I think managed them pretty well. He managed the players pretty well. You guys saw the locker room, right, where he said his only tactic was like, pass to Ronaldo. I mean, that doesn't work here. You can't say pass to Mbappe and Mbappe is going to do all the work. Because he can't. He hasn't showed it to us. You know, he's our top scorer, but what did he do this game, for example, besides that 1 goal where it was just a tap-in? I mean, anybody could have been there and finished it.
He wasn't pressing. Neither was Vinny.
There's only chances. Small. There was only a small percentage of the match where they were actually pressing.
Mm-hmm.
But it doesn't lead to anything. Like they give up so quickly. And then you also mentioned, right? You said some of these players, they play 90 minutes, right? The full 90 minutes. And then I mentioned everybody plays 90 minutes, you know? Some players do get subbed off, but at the same time, why do they not press? Why do they not press? And even if they press, you could tell they're just doing it for the show.
Exactly.
They're like pressing for the show. They just want to press to show us fans that they're pressing. And then once the ball gets past them by one pass, that's it. It's like they forget the ball and, you know, whatever. We done our part. We pressed and then we just leave it as it is. And that's something that I don't like. That's the ego that I don't like. If you look back, for example, if you look at the highlights for those who didn't witness it, because I wasn't really a soccer fan, or I was, but like I wasn't keeping up with during the Ronaldo era. But I've seen highlights where they press. I've seen highlights where they work as a team. Their egos clash, but at the same time they end up working together. But then when you see these players who do need tactics, I feel like nowadays you need tactics. You can't rely on individual brilliance the same as it was back then.
Exactly.
If I tell you, right, think of a team that relies on individual brilliance, like by themselves. You can't think of any other team because they all play as a team, or they at least try to play as a team. But then when you think about Real Madrid, you can tell, I can tell, anybody can tell that the only players we rely on is Vini, Mbappe, Valverde now, Bellingham to score a magical goal, whatever it is. But that's something that I just don't like. This Real Madrid team, they don't play as a team anymore. They never did.
Exactly, yeah. And I mean, you don't even have to look that much in the past to see how good of pressing is. You could just look at Bayern that we faced today. Exactly. That amount of pressure they put on us, we just couldn't handle it. Let's be honest. Carreras had a lot of lost possessions. He missed a lot of, you know, just in general, a lot of plays that he could have committed to. And not just him. The whole defensive line, you could see it. Other than Trent, everyone there is rated, under a 7.
But here's the thing. Trent only got that because of that assist he got.
Exactly. So if he hadn't gotten that assist, he would have been under that too. The whole back line had too much pressure put on them. Even the midfield.
Yeah.
They couldn't do much because Bayern was just putting the pressure, unlike Madrid. Madrid couldn't put the pressure. They couldn't commit.
They were beating, like there was times where we beat their press, right? There was times where we got the ball back by pressing, but there's not enough of that from us, you know? There's not enough of pressing for us to like put the fear into Bayern. They know we're going to slow down. Yeah. But for them, Bayern, yes, they slowed down for like 2 minutes, 3 minutes, and they're back at it. They slow down again. They're back at it. That's something that Real Madrid doesn't have. They don't have the pressing. They don't have the drive. And they don't have the power coming from a manager. Arbeloa is just there for show. I've been saying Arbeloa is just there to fill in the gap that where Xabi Alonso was the manager. Arbeloa is just there for show, putting on his Louis Vuitton outfit and everything. No, like I'm being serious. Like, you really think that Arbeloa has a say in what Mbappe does, what Vinícius does, what Valverde does? He has a say in maybe what Petarch does, right? He has a say in maybe what Carreras does, right? But the people like that are untouchable, maybe even Trent. I don't think he can even control Trent. Because the people who have a lot of star power, I think that Arbeloa cannot. He could tell them what to do or try to do, but I don't think he has any control over them. Maybe if he wants to force and risk his job, like, maybe sub him off or something. You know what I'm trying to say?
Yeah. That's why I said it. We need a good head figure. We need a good, a strong manager. That's why I was mentioning Zidane. But again, Zidane was with the old Real Madrid team was a different case because they actually listened to him. So now, if you have someone like Zidane come in where these people are still not listening to him, would he still be able to take control of the team?
Right, and Xabi Alonso is a legend, so it's not like he's not a random coach who just came in and like they're not supposed to respect him. Zidane is a legend as well, obviously more of a legend compared to Xabi Alonso, but the respect has to be there. In my opinion, like if you have a manager, the manager studies the game compared to the players. They know, they experience as well what goes into like a team, right? Xabi Alonso did almost the impossible, right? Where he beat Bayern when he managed Leverkusen. Oh, yeah. He beat Bayern and won the league. He stopped their dominance, and they went on an invincible run. That means they were unbeaten. So it's not like Xabi Alonso is this unknown manager. He knows what he was doing. And in my opinion, like I said, there was a moment where it went downhill for Xabi Alonso where they were losing. But in my opinion, I think that's because of him or the players. I think he lost control of the players. I think he couldn't even say anything to them. The whole point, look, we're talking about Bayern, right? Yeah. The whole point is that this team has no structure. Yep. And to have a structure, you need a boss. And that boss is the manager. We don't have a manager that's a boss enough to put up this structure for Real Madrid. Yeah.
I mean, figuratively and physically. You see the players, none of them are playing their position.
Oh, yeah, 100%. I mean,
Trent, he was at one point a right winger. Yeah. For no reason.
Yeah. And that's the thing, like, with the right side, right, we have Valverde who cover. They kind of switch. When Trent pushes up, Valverde switches. But the thing is that there's no consistency. Like, we don't see a lot of that. And there was moments where Bayern was just showing off. Exactly. I feel like there was moments where they had maybe 3 shots at goal where they could have actually finished it. But they just try to show off. They try to do the extra pass where they mess it up. But if Bayern really wanted, like, if they really, really wanted, I think they could have, like, destroyed us today.
I think it could have been a blowout, 4-0.
I think so. I think like that, for example, that first goal that we got, it was like it caught them off guard. But that's the thing. I literally mentioned, I don't know if you saw, but I mentioned that that's something that we have to do is attack their fullbacks. Their fullbacks were attacking, but for some reason, Vinícius couldn't finish. Yep. And Mbappe couldn't make a perfect run. The passes were misplaced because they were doing good pressing us to stop those passes from going to the other half, So now that brings us to the second leg. I mean, I don't know. I have zero confidence, honestly. I have that 1% of like hope. Like everybody's been saying, all we need is 1%. But at the same time, it's very hard to win that 1% when these players are playing like they don't even want it. They're playing like they don't even. I mean, your home ground. You're supposed to play for the advantage. You're supposed to press as much as you can. You're at the Bernabeu. And then the fans at some point were whistling us. Yep. They were whistling the Real Madrid fans. I mean, the players. So that should tell you something. I mean, it's honestly, I'm speechless because I think I saw a lot of videos where the Real Madrid content creators were breaking down what Real Madrid should do in this game. And it's like they did the complete opposite. Yep. I mean, they can't even deal with pressure. And that's the first thing. If you can't deal with pressure, like Carreras losing the ball. I mean, you started Petarch over Bellingham, and Petarch has doesn't have a lot of experience compared to Bellingham. So he was nervous. He almost made us concede a goal.
Yeah, that one where he missed the pass to Lunin. Yeah, to Lunin. It's crazy.
Valverde almost stopped us, right? I mean, almost made us concede as well.
The only justification you might have for Bellingham is maybe because of that hamstring injury.
Maybe that's the only thing I can think.
Only justification, but why would you even put him in at the what was it? The 68th minute.
60-second, yeah.
60-second minute. So what's the point of even putting him in if you're not gonna put him in to play the first 60 and then take him out? It just didn't make sense. And we had good people on the bench too.
Camavinga didn't get. That's the thing. People were hating on Camavinga. That's a whole nother video. But I think I would prefer Camavinga over Brahim Diaz. That's my opinion. I would prefer maybe Danny Carvajal to sub in for Trent because now what's our next game? How do I check? Our next game is going to be against Girona,
Yeah.
and they're 12. So
And if we don't win,
and here's the thing, we can now rest those players. We've already dropped points against Mallorca. If we drop points against Girona, and where are they? They're 12th place. We're going to
100% not win. Yeah, we are 100% guaranteed to lose if we drop more points from here.
Because I think there's only 8 more games to go now. There's only 8 more games. So this game really screwed us up. I think that the substitutions were wrong in my opinion, especially the timing. I think unless there was a reason for Jude Bellingham to be benched, I think he shouldn't have not been benched. Or maybe he should have came on the second half. I don't know why Arbeloa never makes substitutions in the second, like right in the second half.
Yeah.
Where players are fresh and the other team, they're not fresh. So, so now we have this game and then we're going to have Bayern
second leg
right after that. And I don't know, maybe this game, look, we're supposed to win on paper, but I don't know at this point.
To be honest, I think it's take one and lose the other. I think we either beat Girona and lose to Bayern, or lose to Girona and beat Bayern.
You don't see us winning both?
I don't see us winning both at all, especially with the way we're playing with our players needing to rest.
Yeah.
I just think I just think our second leg, unless a miracle happens, I think Madrid might get blown out. I know I want to sit here, stand on my 2 legs and say Madrid is going to beat Bayern 7-0, 4-0.
Well, you have to be realistic, you know?
I would love to say that, but in reality, we did this horrible, in my opinion, performance where we got lucky with 1 goal. I'll say we got lucky with 1 goal. And I think it was almost a domination. Of course, it wasn't domination in goals, but when you see the way Bayern was actually playing with us, it was just playing around with us. They treated us as almost a second division team.
I mean, we've seen how Olise was just doing one skill move, getting past our defenders. Right?
Exactly.
Like, really, they were like toying around with us. Now, we're going to go to Germany, and we're going to be at their home stadium in that environment, that atmosphere, and we're lucky enough they can't even close off their roof because we closed it off on them. Last year, we closed it off on Arsenal. I mean, that's the thing. Whenever I see Bernabeu is going to have a closed roof, I just, like, there has been, like, bad feelings with me. Like, I've always had bad feelings. And I've had a bad feeling about this one. I literally released a video last week. I said, 5 things that Real Madrid has to do in order to win. They don't watch Real Roots, bro. They don't, like, I had to bring on Tribe. Like, this is very serious. So I just want to end it off with this because we've been yapping for too long. But if you had to give maybe, like, one thing that you want to see Real Madrid do in the second leg, ignore Girona. But in the second leg, what is something that you want to see Real Madrid do? So at the very least, you can say, you know what? They tried at the very least to get the win this game, and I'm proud of them. Like, what is it? Just one thing, if you could think about it.
I definitely wouldn't be disappointed if they were actually pressing. And I'm talking about the front lines and the midfield. I'm talking about Vini, Mbappe, and that whole, like, mid section of the actual...
Midfield also pressing?
Yeah, I would love to see more. Because if I saw more of it here, I'd still be like, okay, I understand, Bayern was just a better team. But in this case, if we had pressed more, and it was a close game.
Right.
It was 2-1. It wasn't like...
But like I said, like...
Score-wise,
yeah.
It was a close game.
Yeah.
Actual play-wise, I think it was a blowout for Bayern. They blew us out, But I would love to see more pressing. I'd love to say actual, at least position playing. We've seen Trent go all the way to the front. We've seen Trent go all the way back. That whole right side was open all the time.
Right.
I'm surprised Bayern didn't score as many goals through that side.
Right.
I want to see more team play. There's a team, but there's no team play.
Right.
I don't want Mbappe and Vini doing everything. I want everyone to play together. I don't want booting every single ball that comes towards you.
Right,
or every single corner. I want to see more passing. I want to see more playing with each other. I think at least if I saw some of that happening in the second leg and we still lost, I will say, it was still a tough game. I'll say, yes, we lost, but at least we played. But in this case, if we do the same performance that we did today, I don't think we actually played.
No, right.
That's my
opinion. I agree with you. And also, like, Lunin, that he should have saved that second shot from Kane. I'm not going to lie. Lunin should have saved that. If it was Courtois, I think he would have saved that. But whatever, we conceded. But I do agree with you. I'd say, like, also when you press smart. I think, like, don't press for show because we've seen it. We were speaking about it where it looked like that they just wanted to press to, like, show us, the fans, that they're actually pressing. But at the same time, they're not pressing like tactically. Compared to where Xabi Alonso had them pressing in the beginning of the season, it's very different. You could see by their demeanor as well, like by their body, their language. I said body and language. Body language, how they're pressing is very different. So if at the very least we see them press, if we see them put pressure on Bayern, and it's very like tactical where they're pressing in a smart way, where they're not pressing to lead to mistakes, then I'll be proud of Real Madrid. I'm gonna say, you know what, we actually did our job. We tried our best. I mean, you can't blame anybody, but the way we've been losing in these couple of games and majority of the games is like we're not supposed to lose in that way. Yeah. We're not supposed to lose in that way, and majority it comes from lack of like press or intensity that we push on this team.
Yeah.
You know, if I tell you, name me one dominant performance that Real Madrid did besides the Man City one, can you really name one?
No, not really. This whole season has been close games.
Yeah, very close. I mean, I could think about one where was it Kairat? Something like that, where Mbappe scored like 4 goals or whatever. But that's the thing, it's Mbappe. Like, there's nothing like as like a team goal or a team dominant win. But yeah, I don't look at only scores the goals. I also look at positioning. I look at, possession. I look at how they press, how they play as a team, like you said.
Yeah.
So yeah, honestly, good luck to Real Madrid next game. They don't watch Real Roots. We can't really give them any advice. But most importantly, whoever made it to the end, let me know what you guys think about this game. Were you guys shocked, surprised? Were you guys expecting this? Because I was expecting it. I think you said you were expecting if they did play like this.
Yeah.
But let me know what you guys think. Put it in the comments below. And thank you all for those who follow on all social media platforms. If you guys are not followed, it's at Real Roots everywhere. And make sure that you do subscribe, because a lot of you guys are not subscribed. It helps me out a lot. Thank you very much. And until then,
Salam alaikum. Madrid's going to win. He's going to beat them 4-0.